Hey everybody! I'm here today to talk to you about an office chair just like this one right here that is making a squeaking noise or many squeaking noises. I'll be showing you and telling you how to make it silent again in this very simplistic tutorial. Let's get right into the video tutorial. I'll be going over 5 easy steps that you can try out to hopefully help you silence your office chair, okay? So that it's not squeaky. Now this is my secondary office chair. This is the one that we have in the basement, sort of like a spare one. We ended up with 2 before and we only used one of them. My wife got a new office chair, so I'm left with the equivalent one of this. She has a new office chair and then we just kept this one. We're probably gonna sell it or give it away, but we just have this one. Now this one, luckily, is not that squeaky, but it was. And I took a few appropriate steps to unsqueakify it, and that actually made it a lot better. So I'm going to tell you sort of the steps that I took to unsqueakify it, and hopefully that helps you out. I don't know if my face was on camera there or not, but you know, I do my best. I don't have the screen flipped out, so I'm just kind of guessing at this point. I wanted to get the whole chair on camera though, because that's the main thing I want to show you. So step number 1, okay, the first thing that I did was I looked for loose screws and I tightened them. Now, if there are many screws on a chair, but for the most part, most of them are going to be on the bottom. So when I flip this over like this, okay, you're going to find screws underneath here. Some of the screws are attached to the handles on the side. Others are attaching the seat part of the chair to the hydraulic main base over here. And others are attaching the back of the chair to the hydraulic main base, okay? So there are some screws under there. You want to look for any loose screws and tighten them. Now when you're using a chair, you're spinning on it, you're wheeling it around, raising it up, lowering it down, reclining it, tilting it, and so forth, bringing it back forward. The screws are going to get loose. So this is something that you should do on a somewhat regular basis. Not like weekly or monthly, but like maybe once a year or twice a year or every quarter. You know, like every time you're changing your furnace filter, you can check your office chair. Include that in the mix there. Essentially, you know, you want to do something like that because the screws will come loose. Even if they're not falling out, they will loosen up, and tightening them up will help you with that squeakification, or I should say with that unsqueakification. If that doesn't work, it doesn't help you, and all the screws are already tight, move on to step number 2, which step number 2 is to listen for where the squeaking is coming from, where the squeaking sound is coming from. So you literally want to sit on the chair, have someone else sit on the chair, and as they're moving on it, listen, because it might be one specific spot. And if it's one specific spot and you can narrow it down, it makes it a lot easier for you to solve the problem, okay? That brings us to number 3, which is sort of like an add-on after 2, which is to actually tackle that area. So if you find out where the squeaking sound is coming from, number 3 is to use some sort of lubricant to lubricate the area if the cause of the squeaking is it not spinning or moving properly. So let's say that essentially it squeaked whenever I was turning it, right? To me that would signify that the squeaking is going to come from the spindle down here of where it's spinning, okay? And I would just use some sort of lubricant on there. Now you can choose what to use. You want to obviously use something that is safe for the hydraulic cylinder pump that is in the middle there that controls the up and down motion of the chair. You also want to choose something that works for you, because that lubricant might end up making its way a little bit into the material depending on where you're spraying it. So I would recommend getting a controlled spray lubricant, okay? Or I would recommend getting a lubricant that you can apply with like a brush. But use something that, you know, is as natural as possible. Like for myself, what I would use is the WD-40, but not the regular lubricant. I would use the WD-40, I can't remember what it's called, but like it sprays on like air, okay? You spray it on, it's not a liquid, you spray it on, and it's like almost like an air, and I use it on like my drawer sliders and stuff like that. So I don't remember what the name is, but it's by WD-40, and it sprays on almost like a compressed air, and that's how it lubricates. You know, like there's no like liquid that's sprayed out of it, but that's what I would use if I had to do it again. I believe that's what I used originally to unsqueakify all of the office chairs that we have in the house that I dealt with, okay? If that doesn't help you out, which was number 3, use some lubricant on it, then after number 3, you're going to move on to number 4, which is to spin the chair around a bit. Now, you can do this the boring, like I'm a child at heart, okay? I'm not childish, but I'm childlike. Difference, okay? I'm a mature child. You can go like this, okay? Or you can be like me. Woo-hoo! You can spin it around like this. And this is going to be your way. And then what this is going to do is this is going to lubricate it. It's also going to make you dizzy. So if you really want to like set your mind off on trip right now, you can do that, right? So when you're done spinning, you can stand up and you can wave a little bit to the side. You can lean a bit to the side. But all joking, oh, I'm a little bit dizzy for real, no joke. All joking aside, that wasn't a joke because I'm a little bit dizzy, but with all of that aside, what that's actually going to do is that's going to lubricate a lot of the parts that are likely to squeak. So literally just spin it. Now, I wouldn't recommend you sit on it for the whole time because I would recommend spinning this like, I don't know, maybe like 50 times around, but don't sit on it for all 50 times or you will, you will be dizzy. Yeah, but essentially, if you want to sit on it for a couple of the spins, go for it. But not all 50 times. Spin it around, it's going to lubricate the things that are likely to squeak and hopefully unsqueakify them. Okay? And if you've done that and you still need a little bit more of unsqueakification, a little bit more unsqueakification, then what I recommend is that you actually get on the chair for number 5 and you lean side to side. So obviously your chair is used to reclining and inclining. Reclining and not reclining. No. Incline, decline, reclining. What's the opposite of reclining? I don't even know. Reclining and front clining. Okay, I'm not even sure. Actually, reclining is like reverse, right? So I'm going to say reclining and declining, like drive. So anyways, that doesn't even make sense. But your chair is used to going this way, right? Now, what might cause the squeaking is because maybe the parts that are sort of on the sides here are all tensed up. So I recommend leaning it, not harshly, but definitely deliberately, to one side and the other like this. Don't go too intensely, but definitely one side to the other like that, back and forth. And that's going to help you hopefully unsqueakify the chair. And that is essentially it. That is, if your office chair is making a squeaking noise, how to make it silent again with a simple tutorial with 5 easy steps. Hopefully one of them works for you and you can unsqueakify your chair once again so you don't lose your hair like me. Unsqueakify your chair so you don't lose your hair. And that's it. All jokes aside, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked the video tutorial, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.